The year is 1945. The Nazi war machine is crumbling. As fascist regimes all over Europe collapse, those who once looted and terrorized the continent now look desperately for any way to escape. For them, this war is over, but they are already laying plans for the next one.
Have all the transfers been arranged?
Yes, they have. The gold left Montenegro 2 weeks ago, and the currency was wired this morning. Everything has been taken care of.
And the documents?
Hidden, where no one will ever find them.
Good. Now let us depart before this place comes down around our ears.
In 2005, the terror starts again.
Now, where are those documents Patrick said he found in the basement? My God. This is incredible.
But old hatreds still linger. Old mysteries remain unsolved. And old enemies may yet rise again to carry on their ancient battles, armed now with the tools of modern terror.
The building's clear. Are these the papers?
Some of them. Not all.
So what do we do now?
We destroy them and leave. Then we wait for our next orders.
Only one defense stands between the world and all the forces that threaten it. Rainbow, an international task force dedicated to combating terrorism wherever it arises, consisting of the best counter-terrorism operatives the world has to offer. Rainbow is the most potent weapon in freedom's arsenal. Backed by the most sophisticated technology available and trained to the limits of human capability, Rainbow soldiers are our best hope in the war against terror. They may also be our last. Operation Stolen Flame. Terrorists have seized control of an oil refinery in Amway, Venezuela. They claim to have rigged the entire complex with explosives and are threatening to detonate them unless their demands are met. Your mission is to neutralize the terrorists.
The terrorists are demanding the end of deportation proceedings against a senior citizen named Peja Sikic. It turns out that Mr. Sikic was a high-ranking official in the Yugoslavian Ustaše regime during World War II, working for the bad guys. That piece of his past just caught up to him. However, members of a neo-fascist organization called the People's Social Nationalist Party, PSNP, don't see anything wrong in what he did back in the 40s. They've seized the refinery in response to the deportation hearings. And if Sikic isn't released within 24 hours, they threaten to blow the entire facility sky high. All the information we have on the terrorists indicates that they're neither well-organized nor well-armed. Intel's analysis is that their bombs are most likely homemade, which means that there's a chance that they could go off at any moment and take the surrounding landscape with them.
What we're dealing with here is a lot of bloody dangerous amateurs sitting on top of a powder keg. These lads are affiliated with the so-called People's Social Nationalist Party, which got itself booted from the far-right coalition for being too extremist. Neat trick, that. I've had a number of scraps with the police. Usually after 7 or 8 of them get together to introduce an immigrant to the finer points of a mass beating. Nothing in their profile indicates that they're well-organized or well-supported, so you can most likely expect a lot of small-caliber arms. They're erratic, politically fanatical, and by all accounts not that bright. Right now, they're sticking explosives all over a few million barrels of crude oil and gasoline, and they don't seem to care if they get incinerated, so long as they get their point across.
Fall in.
Remember, this place is definitely a no-smoking zone.
Contact. Hostile down. Threat neutralized. Hostile neutralized. Threat down. Tango down. Hostile neutralized. Reform on me. Fall in. Red waiting for Alpha. Go, go, go! Tango down. Hostile down. Red down. Reform on me. Hostile eliminated. Contact. Tango down. Red down. Open door. I'm on it. Negative, sir. Tango down. Hostile down. Fall in. Red waiting for Bravo. Reform on me. Green, placing explosive. Bravo, go!
Mission completed.
Well done, people.
Operation Cold Dagger. Terrorists have taken hostages in the village of La Mura, Switzerland. Among them are several delegates to the current IMF conference in Geneva. Swiss security forces have sealed off the area in preparation for your arrival. Your mission is to liberate the IMF delegates.
Normally, we'd leave something like this to the Swiss authorities, but the profile of the hostages is high enough that we've been called in. There were at least 5 IMF conference delegates present in the village when it was stormed. I say were because we don't know how many are left alive. terrorists hit the local bank first and rounded up hostages when they realized they were pinned down. They've issued a few demands, but they haven't identified themselves. Something about all this stinks, but figuring out what is Intel's job, not yours. Yours is to go in there, clear out that village, and make sure both the delegates and the locals who've been taken hostage come out in one piece.
There's something odd about this operation. At first, the terrorists seemed unaware of the identity of their captives, as though they'd been planning to hit the town anyway and the presence of the IMF officials was a lucky accident. Apparently, the delegates were taking a day's ski trip away from the conference in Geneva. They'd have been better off if they kept their minds on business. Still, there's something here that doesn't make any sense. There's certainly nothing else in Lamora worth mounting an operation like this over.
Remember, those hostages are IMF officials, so be extra careful. There are a lot of eyes on us for this one.
Contact. Green, waiting for Alpha. Threat eliminated. Alpha, go, go, go! Tango down. Hostile neutralized. Fall in. Reform on me. Get so close. Threat neutralized. Tango down. Hostile down. Fall in. Go! Man down! Bravo, go! Open it! Yes, sir. Green, escorting. Threat neutralized.
Help me. Here! I'm right here.
Come with me. Stay put.
You will come back for me, right?
Follow me.
Oh, okay.
Open door. Right away, sir. Green, hostage secured. Hostage secured.
Mission completed.
Nicely done, but we just got some bad news from the Swiss authorities.
Operation Mountain Watch. Several terrorists managed to escape La Mura with hostages before your arrival. At the mouth of a tunnel on the N90 highway, the lead car skidded into the tunnel wall, producing a multiple car pileup. The surviving terrorists have retreated into the tunnel with their hostages, using the wrecked cars for cover. Your mission is to rescue the remaining IMF delegates.
It looks like the Swiss didn't bottle up these terrorists in La Mura as well as they claimed. A handful managed to sneak out with hostages, while the local authorities were still sealing the perimeter. Near as we can tell, they had vehicles waiting downslope for their getaway. Those who slipped out headed for the French border, but got mixed up in the storm and took the wrong turn on Highway N90. That's the good news. The bad is that they wiped out about 50 cliques from La Mura. The ones who can still walk have fallen back into a tunnel, taking their hostages with them. They're using the wrecked cars as a barricade, and firing at Swiss police as we speak. The other end of the tunnel is blocked off, so we're going to have to go in the front door.
Bad luck on this one. The tunnel the terrorists have hauled up in isn't just a cheese bore through a pile of rock. Instead, the whole thing's connected to an old bunker system that someone carved out back in the 1930s. It's a rat maze, and these rats have sharp teeth. We have confirmation from several of the rescued hostages that our terrorists went for the bank first, and that once inside, they looked for old bank records before they went rummaging for cash. Hopefully, you'll be able to bring someone in who can shed light on this mess, because right now, both Intel and I are stumped.
Get them into the tunnel, now.
Come on, you've got to get up.
Now the rest of you, move!
The blueprints on those tunnels show that they're a real maze. It's perfect ambush territory.
Threat neutralized. Hostile neutralized. Reform on me. Red, sniping until Alpha. Threat down. Fall in. Green, waiting for Bravo. Threat neutralized.
Contact.
Hostile neutralized. Tango down. Bravo, Go, go, go! Contact. Bravo, go! Threat neutralized. Open door. Right away, sir. Can't do that, sir. Green. Threat neutralized. Tango down. Threat down. Tango down. Hostile neutralized.
Hey! No.
Hostile down. Tango down.
Please help me.
I've got a family.
Come with me. Follow me.
Get
You
me
are
out of
going
here.
to protect me, right?
Charlie, go! Reform on me. In formation.
Look out! Tango down. Hostage secured.
Mission
Hostage
completed.
secured.
Excellent work. Let's get you someplace where you can warm up.
Thank you.
Come along, Canada. The ambulance is this way.
Operation Sentinel Wolf. Terrorists have seized a shipyard in Bergen, Norway. When authorities were alerted by a premature bomb detonation, the terrorists fell back to the central ship completion area. They have rigged much of the shipyard with explosives. Your mission is to prevent the detonation of further explosives and eliminate all terrorists.
Remember the refinery operation in Amway? Imagine that scenario, only this time, you're going up against pros. That's basically what we're dealing with here, ladies and gentlemen. But we actually caught a break on this one. It seems that one of the charges the terrorists were setting on the ship hulls detonated prematurely. It wrecked the hull, but alerted local police forces, and they were smart enough to call in the heavy artillery. Once the Norwegian anti-terrorist units arrived on the scene, our playmates fell back to the main ship finishing facility and started issuing their demands. There's a lot of long sightlines in the shipyard and a lot of good sniping points. Advance slowly and carefully, or you're going to find yourself chewed up and spit out 100 yards from your objectives.
Here's the latest we know on your Swiss adventure, and it isn't much. All that we've got from the bodies is that they were travelling on Argentinian passports. We did manage to bring in one chap who got himself trapped in an overturned car, but he hasn't said anything useful yet. I expect that will change with time. In any case, the Argentine government is promising a full investigation and will grant us access to their findings. Today, you've got oil tankers to deal with. The Bergen shipyard's in the middle of a contract with PDVSA, the Venezuelan National Oil Company. They're making a fleet of new tankers, and those are the hulls the terrorists are targeting. The ships are insured, but that's not the point. If those hulls are wrecked, it's going to cost PDVSA millions from the delays. The terrorist demands are very interesting. They want the release of some paramilitary types convicted of blowing up oil company offices, the American oil facilities in Venezuela nationalized, and the usual safe passage and money. Someone's got serious issues with the Venezuelan oil industry, it would seem.
Keep your eyes open. This place is like a shooting gallery.
Threat neutralized.
Sniping until Bravo.
Green, lead. Alpha, go! Contact. Hostile eliminated. Alpha, go, go, go! Bravo, go! Threat neutralized. Hostile down. Threat down. Bravo, go, go, go!
Hello?
Threat neutralized. Open it! Right away, sir. Negative, sir. Hostile neutralized. Fall in. On the way. With you, sir. Green, waiting for Charlie. Hostile down. Charlie, go, go, go! Green, man down! Reform on me. Fall in. Red waiting for Alpha. Reform on me. Green. Alpha, go! Tango, down. Threat neutralized.
Mission completed.
Mission complete. Extract your people.
Operation Falcon Hour. A joint American-British drug bust in Cayman Brac has failed, leaving several agents down and others taken hostage. The kidnappers have taken refuge within a private airport complex and are threatening to execute their hostages. Your mission is to rescue the captives and eliminate their captors.
Pack your swim trunks. You're going to the Cayman Islands. Unfortunately, it's not a pleasure cruise. A joint drug intercept between the American DEA and British Customs went haywire at a private airport. And since the defense of the Caymans is still under British control, we've been put on the spot. The local police were smart enough to block off the runways so the terrorists can't take off. What that means in practical terms is that we have a squad of angry, heavily armed drug dealers somewhere in the airport complex itself. Even worse, they've got ticketing agents with them as hostages. According to witnesses, someone or something must have tipped the smugglers off because they were toting more ordnance than usual. When the DEA and customs agents went to make their move, they got a nasty surprise.
Cayman Brac's the easternmost of the Cayman Islands. It's got a lot of money, a lot of big houses, and a lot of people who like their privacy. The airport where the hostage takers are holed up is small and private, with a short strip. Mostly it handles Gulf Streams and the like, wealthy people jetting in for the weekend. It's also a major drug distribution hub, mainly marijuana and cocaine, and the local police have made several busts there in the past. However, there's never been a hostage situation before. Don't kidnap the police was always one of the unwritten rules, but it seems that rule's been changed.
You are under no obligation to be gentle.
Alpha, go, go, go! Threat down. Threat neutralized. Hostile eliminated. Alpha, go!
Hello?
Threat neutralized.
Here, I'm right here. Hurry up!
Come with me.
Get me
Fall in. Gold, escorting precious cargo. Hostile down. Tango. Threat down. Bravo, go! Gold, waiting for Bravo. Tango, down. Red, waiting for Bravo. Bravo, go, go, go! Reform on me. Hostile neutralized. Tango down. Green, sniping until Charlie. Hostile down.
Hello?
Hostile. Threat neutralized. Tango down. Hostile neutralized. Gold, waiting for Bravo. Bravo, go! Green, sniper. Sights hot. Green, sniper. Sights are cold. Green, sniper. Sights are cold. Green, sniper. Sights hot. sniper. Sights are cold. Gold. Placing explosive. Fall in.
Tango, neutralized.
Reform on me. Fall in. Gold. Explosive. Reform on me. Gold. Fall in. Gold. Explosives ready. Green. Sniper. Sights are cold. Gold. Waiting for Charlie. Green.
Charlie, go!
I'm right here. Hurry up. Please, help me.
Gold. Escorting.
Okay.
Follow me.
You are going to protect me, right?
Gold. Escorting precious cargo.
Get me out of here.
Mission completed.
It looks like you got them all. Prepare for extraction.
Operation Pearl Castle. Narco-terrorists have taken members of the Royal Cayman Islands police force hostage at a private estate on Cayman Brac. The Governor's office requests your assistance in resolving the situation. Your mission is to secure the estate and liberate the captive officers.
It looks like hostage-taking is the latest fad on Cayman Brac. What we're looking at is the island estate of a man named Nikola Gospić, whom the local police wanted to ask some questions about the run-in at the airport. It was routine stuff, just, did you see anything? But they got a non-routine response. Gospić wasn't at home, but somebody else was. When they saw the police, they panicked and opened fire. The officers who weren't hit in the first exchange fell back and radioed in for backup. But 2 men are already down, and a couple more were taken hostage by whoever's in the house. Since we were still in the vicinity, the governor specifically requested that we help resolve this situation. Fortunately, Gospić likes his privacy, because the estate is walled and out in the middle of nowhere.
The estate you'll be liberating belongs to a man named Nikola Gospić, one of the most well-liked men on Cayman Brac. Gospić is in his 80s and is something of a philanthropist. He's also got extensive business interests throughout Argentina and Brazil, and according to intel, he's currently in Buenos Aires tending to some of them. He picked a smart time to be out of the house. We can safely assume that the men hauled up on Gospic's estate are tied to the narco-terrorists you took down at the airstrip. The bullets the local ballistics experts dug out of one of the police cars match the ones the airport terrorists were using. Furthermore, the Cayman authorities have a positive ID on 2 of the shooters at the house. They're small-time drug runners who'd been overheard bragging about a big score they were about to make.
Don't forget to skim the pool and clean the windows.
Threat down. Threat neutralized.
Hello?
Hostile neutralized. Hostile down. Threat down. Hostile neutralized. Threat down. Green, placing explosives. Green, explosives ready. Green, waiting for Alpha. Alpha, go, go, go!
Hands on.
Threat neutralized. Tango down. Green, placing explosives. Green, explosives ready. Green, escorting. Green, escorting hostage. Fall in. Red, waiting for Bravo. Reform on me. Bravo, go, go, go!
What was that?
Hostile down. Threat down.
Who are they?
Contact. Hostile down. Green, waiting for Bravo. Open door.
I'm on it. Can't do that, sir.
Tango, down. Fall in.
On the way.
Reform on me. Bravo, go! Hostile neutralized.
Please help me. Here, I'm right.
Follow me.
You are going to protect me, right?
Mission completed.
The grounds are clear. Stand down.
Hostage secure.
Operation Crimson Hook. A hostage situation has developed at a meatpacking facility in Pilar, Argentina. In response to a request from the Argentine government, Rainbow is being deployed to resolve the situation. Your mission is to secure the hostages and eliminate their captors.
According to police reports, a night watchman interrupted some intruders in the act of destroying company records at the plant. He was killed, but not before he managed to call the police. When the cops arrived, however, they found that the burglars had taken hostages, including a few night shift managers. They also found that they were taking AK-47 fire whenever they got close to the building. So they pulled back and waited for the terrorists' next move. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Those managers call some of the most powerful politicians in Argentina Mommy and Daddy, and they all seem to have gotten their jobs as political favors to their parents. Who gave them those jobs? Why, Mr. Gospić from Cayman Brac did. He just happens to have a small ownership share in the meatpacking operation. That, incidentally, is why a request was made for the Men in Black. We can figure out the puzzle behind this later, though. Right now, we've got at least 2 dead hostages and a threat to kill another one on the hour if we don't meet their demands. Get to work.
We're starting to find some links here. The story we're being told on the estate incident is that a member of the household staff took advantage of Gospić's absence. He'd run up debts with some local smugglers, and to pay them off, he offered the house as a base of operations. It's a good story, but it's difficult to verify. It seems that the employee in question, a gardener named Michael Curry, was found conveniently dead afterwards. Very neat. One bullet to the back of the head. Not at all what you'd expect in a firefight. In any case, it turns out that Mr. Gospić owns a minority share in the meatpacking operation you're going to be liberating. He also has his fingers in a dozen other industries, ranging from shipping to oil exploration in Venezuela. And one of his companies made a massive contribution to the campaign fund of a far right-wing presidential candidate named Alvaro Gutierrez. Gutierrez is quite the character himself. He's got support from a half-dozen neo-fascist organizations, but he's been good at maintaining a politically appropriate distance. Intel has, however, managed to link him to the terrorists from Switzerland. It seems he helped a few of them get their passports. The final piece of the puzzle we've got in hand comes from the terrorists in the meatpacking plant. Several of their demands reiterate those made by the shipyard terrorists in Bergen. There's something here we're not seeing.
Being a hero tonight?
I don't care if you're a vegetarian. Just do the job.
Green, waiting for Alpha. Alpha, go, go, go! Tango, down. Red down. Threat neutralized. Hostile down. Threat down. Threat neutralized. Hold. Reform on me.
On
Green,
the way.
waiting for Bravo.
With you, sir.
Bravo, go, go, go! Threat down. Hostile neutralized. Hostile down. Threat neutralized. Reform on me. Green, waiting for... Fall in. Reform on me. Green, waiting for Alpha. Alpha, go!
Mission completed.
The Argentine government has extended its official thanks for your good work.
Green.
Hostage secured. It's all over. You're safe now.
Well, I saw him in the doorway. Then he just waved and kept going. I swear, if he hadn't been there, the guy would have shot me. I'd be dead right now. Stone dead.
Operation Stone Cannon. An import-export firm in Porto de Alegre, Brazil, is allegedly housing what authorities have identified as components of a chemical nerve agent. Surveillance data has been confirmed by details of confessions extracted from several of the terrorists captured on Cayman Brac. Your mission is to raid the company's warehouse and secure all chemical agents on the premises.
Since Rainbow keeps on getting tapped for missions in the Western Hemisphere, a suggestion's been made to keep you stationed out at Langley temporarily, at least until things calm down. In the meantime, we've got a new assignment. A U.S. Coast Guard cutter intercepted a freighter bound for Savannah. On board were a few hundred kilos of cocaine, approximately 20 crates of assault weapons, and a few million sheets of neo-fascist propaganda. The ship's manifest pointed the Coast Guard to a shipping firm in Porto de Alegre, Brazil. Coincidentally, that's the same company some of the prisoners from Cayman Brac mentioned in their plea bargains. With that information in hand, the Brazilian government began surveillance of the operation. They hit the jackpot. We've got footage of guns and drugs going in and out of the warehouse. The surprise here, though, is that we've also got video of what looks like chemical weapons containers labeled in Russian. Technically, this sort of operation isn't under our jurisdiction, but I twisted a few arms and got the assignment. This looks too much like a part of what we're already dealing with for me to let it go.
You did nice work in Argentina, and now Intel's hoping to return the favor. At this point, we can confidently state that the burglars at the meatpacking plant were there to destroy 40 years worth of financial records. You'd think a match would have done the job, but they seemed intent on keeping the plant intact. The good news is, they didn't nick the backups. We found those, and we're beginning to see why someone wanted the lot destroyed. It's going to take weeks, if not longer, to decipher them. But one thing is clear. That packing plant was used as a cover for a great many things. As for the import-export firm, the surveillance footage we've got shows them moving a lot of gear in and out, including what looks to be top-of-the-line weaponry. be prepared. They're not going to be firing cheap AK-47 knockoffs when you come through the door. We're still working on getting a final translation on the labels on the shipping containers, but a first look confirms our worst fears. It's the components for the VX nerve gas. VX, in case you were wondering, is a nerve agent that binds to the neurotransmitters and blocks them. It doesn't matter if you touch it or inhale it. The end result is a quick, agonizing death, and the amount required for a lethal dose is tiny. Even worse, the stuff sticks around forever and adheres to damn near any surface you can imagine.
Fall in. With you, sir. Hostile down. Contact rear. Threat down. Hostile down. Contact. Tango down. Contact. Tango neutralized.
I need help!
Hostile neutralized. Tango down.
What was that?
Threat neutralized. Reform on me. Hold up. Holding position. Threat down. Tango down. Threat down. Tango down. Fall in. Coming to you. In formation. Open it. I'm on it. Can't do that, sir. Threat neutralized. Reform on me. With you, sir. Tango down. Contact. Tango down. Threat neutralized. Contact. Hostile down. Fall in. Threat down. All teams, move out. Gold waiting for Alpha. Red waiting for Alpha. Tango down. Contact. Threat down.
Hostile eliminated.
Threat eliminated.
Hostile down. Threat neutralized. Tango down. Reform on me. Green waiting for Alpha. Alpha, go, go, go!
I need some backup.
Tango down.
Mission completed.
Warehouse is secure. Extract.
Operation Shattered Glass. Rainbow has been authorized to plant audio surveillance devices in the penthouse of Alvaro Gutierrez, an extremist Argentine politician. Gutierrez has been linked to both the incidents in Switzerland and Nikola Gospić, the owner of the Cayman estate and the meatpacking firm. Your mission is to plant bugs in the computer and one of 2 phones in Gutierrez's apartment.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to start closing the net on an Argentine politician named Alvaro Gutierrez. We've got circumstantial evidence that Gutierrez is linked to Gospić. I want to get something concrete and find out what those 2 are up to. So far, all we've got is that it's big, it's dangerous, and we can't see it all. That's why you're going to bug Gutierrez's penthouse. I want to know who he's talking to, what he's saying, and when he's saying it. Hell, I even want to know if he snores. He's cagey, though, so while you're upstairs, the local cops are going to be downstairs, tearing his offices apart. It doesn't really matter if they find anything. They'll keep Gutierrez busy enough that you should have a relatively clear run through the penthouse.
Our people sat down with Mr. Gospić for a little chat, and he seems nice enough. He arrived in the Caymans back in the 1940s, already wealthy, and claims to have been lucky in business ever since. I think we got 10 apologies for the incident at his estate, which he called a terrible accident, and he's promised to hire more security so that it never happens again. Right now, we've got nothing on him, except that some of his companies are mixed up in a very bad business. Indeed, he seemed extremely upset over that old records mess in Pilar. Nothing links him directly to trouble, though. Gutierrez is a different story. For one thing, the terrorist who survived the Swiss highway firefight gave us his name during questioning. For another, several of his bodyguards were former People's Social Nationalist thugs. At least before he put them in tuxedos to watch his back. Make no mistake though, they're still thugs. If Gutierrez wins that election, things could get very ugly indeed.
Gutierrez's bodyguards may not be bright, but that doesn't mean they're bad at what they do. Avoid all contact.
Alpha, go! Bravo, go! Charlie, go, go, go! Charlie, go!
Mission completed.
Outstanding.
Operation Lion Shadow. A private banking house in London has been seized by terrorists in paramilitary gear. They have taken hostages and opened fire on the Metropolitan Police. As several of the hostages are Swiss nationals, both the British and Swiss governments have requested your assistance in this matter. Your mission is to liberate the bank and any hostages within, and prevent the destruction of valuable financial records that we believe are the terrorists' target.
Both the British and Swiss governments are asking for our help on this one. Apparently, there are Swiss nationals inside the bank carrying sensitive financial documents, but they're not willing to say more at the moment. Obviously, the Swiss government is very concerned about what happens to both their people and their papers. The bank's 4 centuries old and private, which means that it's built like a fortress. We're looking at thick walls, thick doors, and good sight lines. There are 2 routes down to the vault, which is where we suspect the hostages are being held. Be careful of snipers on the walkway on the upper level. It's where I'd put my men if I were trying to hold this thing. The other thing to watch for is the bank's security system. It looks like the terrorists got it back online. One of their people is monitoring their camera setup from the security room on the 1st floor to the right of the front doors. Should probably take him out from outside the building.
We have a positive ID on the man in charge of the London bank operation. His name is Douglas Preston. He's a British Army vet, decorated for service in Kuwait. He's also a major embarrassment to the British government. It seems once their war hero got home, he declared his sympathies for an organisation called the Unified People's Front, which is an umbrella for every neo-fascist group in the UK. Officially, he split from the UPF 6 years ago. Unofficially, his politics haven't changed, and he's been connected to some illicit arms sales to paramilitary groups in Colombia. In short, he sounds like just the sort of man Gutierrez would have over for a drink. Preston's dossier says that he's good at what he does, which means that this operation's going to be no cakewalk. His psych profile indicates that he has no problem using hostages as human shields, and his men are likely to be highly trained and well armed. He's a bit of a perfectionist, very cautious, so don't wait for his squad to make mistakes. They won't.
What was that? Well, what have we here? No playing hide and seek, girl. If you try to run again, you're gonna be dead.
London police already have men down. Let's not take any more casualties.
Green, waiting for Bravo. Alpha, go! Tango, neutralized.
That's on.
Go. Sniping until Alpha. Go. Sniper. Sights hot.
I'm getting out.
Contact. Threat eliminated. Alpha, go, go, go! Bravo, go, go, go!
Focus dead.
Contact. Contact. Hostile down. Threat down. Threat neutralized. Fall in. Hostile neutralized.
Red, waiting for Charlie. Green, waiting for Charlie.
Hostile down.
That's odd.
Charlie, go! Hostile neutralized. Reform on me. Fall in.
Green, waiting for Alpha.
Threat neutralized.
Gold, escorting. Gold, escorting precious cargo. Gold, escorting hostage.
Alpha, go!
Focus dead. Hello? Who does?
Hostile down.
Gold, hostage secured.
Focus dead.
All teams, let's go! In formation.
Green, man down.
Fall in. Red.
Fall in.
Threat eliminated. Reform on me.
Reform on me. Fall in. Reform on me.
In formation.
Charlie, go, go, go!
Red.
Hostile neutralized. Threat neutralized.
Red, escorting precious cargo. Red, escorting hostage. Red, escorting. Fall in. Threat down.
Green, escorting hostage.
Reform on me. Fall in.
Mission completed.
The Swiss government is very happy their people are safe.
Hostage secured.
Guys were amazing. They just burst in, and there was this flash.
Yes, well, the Metropolitan Police's immediate response to this sort of incident is to try to maintain the safety of the hospital.
Operation Broken Stone. We have concluded that the meatpacking operation in Pilar is being used as a distribution vector for chemical agents. The Argentine government confirms that several of Gospić's operatives have recently entered the country and have been spotted in Pilar. Your mission is to secure the meatpacking facility and prevent the dispersal of the chemical agent.
Intel's convinced that Gospić has gotten his hands on multiple chemical weapons. If he was behind the British bank operation, then it makes sense that Preston was his supplier. Preston made a lot of contacts in Kuwait, including a few with access to the old Soviet chemical weapons labs. It seems highly probable at this point that Gospić has his hands on some amount of VX nerve agent. VX is extremely lethal and very durable, and can be absorbed through skin contact. That's why he had his fingers in the meatpacking plant. The plant ships beef all over the world, including Europe and Israel. We're talking mass murder across a dozen countries. Now, we could probably interdict any shipments from the plant after the fact, but that's too risky. I want us to take that nerve agent into custody before a single drop gets used. That's why we're going back to the meatpacking plant. The Argentine government confirmed sightings of some of Gospić's men in and around Pilar, which means that there's no time to waste. Saddle up. You're going hunting for nerve gas.
We finally have the full picture, thanks to the documents you rescued in London. They are, to put it mildly, explosive. A collection of banking records dating to the Second World War, detailing the systematic looting of assets of Holocaust victims by the Third Reich, their allies in the Ustaše regime in Yugoslavia, and complicit bankers in Geneva. Names are named, including one Peja Sikic. You might remember him. He's the senior citizen that Venezuela wanted to deport just before the unpleasantness at the refinery. In addition, there are repeated mentions of an attaché to the Ministry of Finance, a man named Dejan Blazevik. We've got a picture of Blazevik, and, on a hunch, one of the lads at Intel used some imaging software to make a projection as to what he'd look like now. The end result looks a lot like our Mr. Nikola Gospić. It seems Blazevik got himself smuggled out of Europe in 1945. He arrived in the Caymans a few years later, calling himself Gospić. The money he used to set himself up with was skimmed from the accounts he'd helped liquidate. Intel's best guess is that he felt that the Sikic deportation proceedings might blow his own cover, so he started taking steps to hide his trail. That's not all he's up to, though. The repeated attacks on the Venezuelan oil industry, the chemical weapons, the neo-fascist ties, they add up to something more. Now on to more bad news. While Gospić doesn't have a stake in that import-export firm you hit in Brazil, Gutierrez does. And Gutierrez's import-export company does do an awful lot of business with firms that are owned by Mr. Nikola Gospić. In particular, there's some connection with the meatpacking firm in Pilar. We know all of this because of one of the phone calls we listened in on at Gutierrez's place. Gospić called Gutierrez to discuss their plans for that business. Plans that included using the VX chemical agents you confiscated in Brazil.
We'll have a lot more company in there than last time, and they're better armed.
Hostile down.
Be careful.
Threat neutralized. Fall in. Reform on me.
Hands on.
Hostile down. Threat down. Threat neutralized. Tango down. Threat down. Fall in. Red waiting for Alpha. Reform on me. Alpha, go! Hostile neutralized. Fall in. Red waiting for Bravo. Bravo, go, go, go! Red, man down! Hostile down. Red down. Red neutralized. Tango down. Reform on me. Gold waiting for Charlie. Green waiting for Charlie. Charlie, go, go, go! Hostile threat neutralized. Tango down.
What was that?
Hostile neutralized.
Mission completed.
We're sending the hazmat boys in to deal with the nerve agent now. Good job.
Operation Briar Gate. Rainbow is authorized to search the estate of Nikola Gospić for evidence of more chemical weapons. Intel believes he is still in possession of a highly lethal blistering agent, which he will attempt to use. Your mission is to prevent the destruction of evidence on Gospić's computer and to secure the estate using all necessary force.
Gospić has gone to ground, which just makes him more dangerous. He's found himself a hole somewhere. We're going to have to dig him out. We start with his mansion on Cayman Brac. It's highly unlikely he's there, but his stash of blistering agent might be. At the very least, Intel wants to go over that place top to bottom. If we're lucky, they'll be able to figure out what he's got left and where he's going to hit next. At this point, you should be familiar with the layout of the estate. We don't have any hostages to worry about this time, which is a bonus. but it also means that all resistance isn't going to be bottled up in the main house.
We've traced the origin of the VX ingredients you confiscated in Pilar. It's old Soviet manufacture, smuggled out by Preston. We've even managed to pinpoint the buy at which he got it. Unfortunately, it's not all he picked up on his little shopping trip. In addition to the VX, he got the compounds necessary to homebrew more of the stuff. And what we're pretty certain is a blistering agent. You nicked the former when you hit the import-export firm in Porto de Alegre. But the blistering agent's still out there. So's Gospić, for that matter, and Gutierrez along with him. The blistering agent we're looking at is most likely phenyl dichlorazine, a colorless, odorless liquid. It does a number on the eyes, lungs, skin, and guts of anyone who's been exposed. It's slightly less effective than so-called mustard gas, the grandfather of blistering agents. But that's about the only good thing about it. By the time the symptoms of exposure appear, it's already done its work.
There's no need to worry about property damage this time.
Alpha, go, go, go! Threat down. Alpha, go!
Threat neutralized.
Hostile down. Threat down.
What was that?
Threat neutralized.
Hello?
Hostile down.
What was that?
Green, man down! Threat neutralized. Hostile down. Tango down. Close door. Close it.
I'm on it.
Reform on me. Red, waiting for Bravo. Open door.
Yes, sir. Negative, sir.
Bravo, go!
Hello? I need help.
Threat neutralized. Hostile neutralized. Fall in.
On the way. In formation.
Red, man down!
Man down.
Hostile down. Threat neutralized. Reform on me. Hostile down. Threat down.
Mission completed.
Excellent operation, people. Nice and clean.
Operation Talon Steel. Men identified as working for Gospić have killed an Interpol agent who had infiltrated their operation and seized control of an airport on Cayman Brac. Their baggage, which has been recovered, contains aerosol dispersal equipment intended for use with the blistering agent, the existence of which has been confirmed. Your mission is to secure the airport and neutralize all gunmen.
Bad luck for Interpol this time. They had a man infiltrating Gospić's operation from the other side, and he just called in from the Cayman Brac airport with the last pieces of the puzzle. The endgame is set for Rio de Janeiro at the Festas Junias. The men the agent was working with were involved in smuggling the chemical agent from the Caymans to Rio so that Gospić could expose the crowds at the festival. We're talking hundreds of thousands of people, minimum. Unfortunately, backup didn't reach their man in time, and he was killed. The good news, what there is of it, is that the local police have been on a hair trigger lately. They arrived in time to keep at least some of Gospić's people on the island and contain them within the airport complex. They also confiscated the luggage these jokers were trying to load onto a private plane. It's aerosol equipment, perfect for dispersing the blistering agent. This helps limit the ones who got away. Get to work.
We have one more tidbit on Gospić himself. On a hunch, I had a look at his medical records. They tell the rest of the man's story. He's got liver cancer, and it's terminal. The initial prognosis was 6 months. That was 2 years ago. But he can't keep bucking the odds forever. Looking at his psych profile, I'd say he's a good candidate for a grand suicide gesture. And the blistering agent gives him the perfect tool for the job. The real twist, however, is what comes after he's dead. We know now from the records at the meatpacking plant that he's been squirreling away money for years to support a new global fascist movement. It would be his little goodbye present to the world, a legacy of hate from the Second World War. As part of that, he was targeting tracts of the Venezuelan oil fields for acquisition, with an eye on sabotaging them so the bottom would fall out of the price. The man's literally worth billions, and as soon as he dies, it all goes towards resurrecting the jackbooted goose stick.
We've got confirmation that Gospić has chemical weapons. Move out, people.
Threat neutralized. Green, waiting for Alpha. Contact. Check it. Tango, neutralized. Alpha, go, go, go! Tango, down. Contact. Threat eliminated. Contact. Hostile neutralized. Hostile neutralized. Hostile down. Contact rear. Tango down. Contact. Hostile down.
Tango down.
Threat down. Hostile down. Threat down. Threat neutralized. Tango down. Fall in.
In formation.
Reform on me.
Red, waiting for Bravo. Hostile down. Contact.
Threat down. Fall in.
Green, waiting for Bravo.
Bravo, go! Hostile down. Threat down. Threat neutralized. Reform on me. Fall in.
Green, Charlie, go! Green, man down! Green, man down!
Tango down. Threat neutralized. Tango down.
Mission completed.
The airport is clear. I've arranged transport to Rio.
Operation Whisper Blade. A garage near the Festas Juninas parade route in Rio de Janeiro must be stormed. It has been identified as the site where Gospić constructed the parade float from which he intended to disperse the blistering agent. Intel believes that Alvaro Gutierrez is on site, supervising the last details of the operation. Your mission is to secure the garage and capture Gutierrez.
Intel has recovered the notebook kept by the Interpol agent who was killed on Cayman Brac. Among other things, it's got the address for a garage in Rio, where Gospić's men have been building a parade float. It also has a schedule for where the float's going to be when along the parade route. We don't know where it is now, but we do know where the garage is. Even better, according to the notebook, Gutierrez is still scheduled to be there. We can capture one rat, and he'll lead us to the other. Most of the equipment should be out of the garage already, which means less cover for whatever resistance you do uncover. It also means there's less chance that the blistering agent might get set off accidentally during the shooting. The Brazilian government isn't terribly thrilled with our intervention in this matter, but they owe us one from Porto de Alegre. Besides, if Intel read that notebook right, we've got a matter of hours before everything hits the fan.
Right now, Rio's in the middle of the Festas de Juninas. It's a series of celebrations venerating a handful of saints, and it comes with the usual parade and whatnot. It also brings a lot of people into the city and onto the streets, especially along the parade route. That means there'll be crowds in exactly the places we're going to need to look for Gospić. Gospić has sponsored a float in the big parade the last few years. He's entered one again this year. Put two and two together and you confirm what that Interpol agent told us. He's using the float as a way to spread the blistering agent along the entire length of the parade route.
There's no time to lose. Move out.
Tango, down. Threat neutralized. Fall in. Red waiting for Alpha. Hostile down. Threat neutralized. Tango, down.
That's odd.
Reform on me. Green waiting for Alpha. Alpha, go! Hostile down. Threat down. Tango down. Tango down. Threat neutralized. Threat down. Hostile down. Threat neutralized. Threat neutralized. Contact. Hostile neutralized. Green waiting for Bravo. Hostile down. Bravo, go! Hostile neutralized. Hostile down. Threat neutralized. Green, waiting for Charlie. Open door. Yes, sir. Can't do that, sir. Charlie, go! Police! Hostile down. Contact. Green, man down! Threat neutralized. Contact. Lost the man! Hostile eliminated. Fall in. Red, placing explosives. Red, explosives ready. Red, waiting for Charlie. Reform on me. Fall in. Red, placing explosives. Red, explosives ready. Red, waiting for Charlie.
Hello?
Charlie, go, go, go!
Mission completed.
Someone's coming in to take charge of Gutierrez ASAP, but Gospić is still out there.
Operation Steel Rose. The float concealing the blistering agent has been located near the beginning of the parade route and must be seized. Gutierrez has surrendered the rough locations of both Gospić and the blistering agent, which he intends to disperse by means of a small concussion device. Your mission is to prevent the detonation of the explosive and eliminate both Gospić and his men.
Gutierrez ratted out Gospić to save his own skin, which is good news for us. The float's being prepared on a side street near the start of the parade route. It's guarded by everything Gospić has left, which means that hopefully they're keeping civilians away from it. Gospić himself is somewhere in the area. He wants to watch it go down up close and personal, which means that we can nail it. We've relayed our findings to the local authorities, and the police are already moving people off the streets. They're leaving Gospić to us. Be sure to search the buildings around the float for him and his men.
With the loss of his aerosol equipment, Gospić has been forced to fall back on a cruder distribution method. According to Gutierrez, he's planted an explosive charge right in the middle of the float, with the blistering agent bundled around it. In the middle of the parade, Gospić's boys are going to abandon the float and the device will blow. It's a tricky balance, but if he's figured the forces right, the detonation could spread the chemical agent over half the city. If he hasn't, the blast will probably just kill everyone for a couple of blocks. It's a lose-lose situation. Ultimately, Intel believes that this isn't about Rio in particular. It's about the impact an event like this will have across all of South America. The projections that have been run are not pretty. Even the most optimistic leave the door wide open for Gospić, or more accurately his heirs, to swoop in on those oil fields and make a killing. Now that we know what's going on, steps can be taken to prevent that. But the first order of business is still stopping Gospić.
Fall in.
This is his last gasp. Expect anything.
Threat down. Threat neutralized.
Contact. Contact.
Tango down.
Threat eliminated.
Threat neutralized. Reform on me. Green waiting for Alpha.
What was that?
Tango down. Gold waiting for Alpha. Hold position.
Holding.
Threat down. Tango down. Alpha, go! Green, man down! Fall in.
Coming to you. Stand down.
Red down.
In formation.
Tango down. Threat neutralized. Threat down. Hostile neutralized. Reform on me. Tango down.
Hello? Police!
Threat neutralized. Alpha, go, go, go! Move out.
Right away, sir.
Hostile down. Tango down. Threat neutralized. Bravo! Hostile neutralized. Green, man down! Threat neutralized. Fall in.
On the way.
Who there?
Hostile down.
With you, sir.
neutralized.
Hostile eliminated.
Charlie, go, go, go!
Police!
Man down.
Hostile down. Threat neutralized. Hostile down. Reform on me. Fall in.
Mission completed.
Stand down. I'm really proud of you.
Concerned that the festivities might be cancelled in the wake of some early morning disturbances, but according to a police spokesman, there was never any real chance that the celebration would be shut down.
So let's go over this one more time. Gospić didn't act until his friend in Venezuela got deported. Why?
It was all that fool Sikic's fault. Gospić and Sikic served the Ustaše together, and during the war they stole millions. But when Sikic was caught, Gospić panicked. He acted too soon.
And it's lucky for us he did. Now let's talk about Gospić. What was he after?
Gospić was dying. Liver cancer, he told me. So he decided to give the world a goodbye present. He wanted an economic downturn so he could buy up the oil fields of the Venezuelan coast on the cheap. He'd use the money they generate to support a new international fascist movement.
Where did you come in? Or did you just like his politics?
Politics are changeable, but money's no good without a place to spend it. He was bankrolling my campaign in exchange for certain political favors. And if I lost, well, he made plans for a coup. It was a deal with the devil. He was a raven, picking the bones of an old war. And I'd be his shield, until his children were ready to fly.
But none of this explains the nerve gas.
Gospić wanted piles of dead in the streets. No more tourists for Rio, no. And that would damage the economy across the entire region. It would be easy then for him to buy what he wanted. But none of that matters now. He is dead, and you have won, and I am going to prison.
He's all yours. That's it, people. It's over. You did good work. I'm proud of you. Now, I've heard that there's one hell of a party going on upstairs. Get out of here. Enjoy yourselves. You've earned it.